Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news. The San Francisco 49ers have signed wide receiver Jauan Jennings to a contract extension. We can all breathe a sigh of relief after he didn't show up to OTAs, last week. And then we found out probably about 10, 15 minutes ago that Jauan Jennings was in the building, according to Matt Mayoko, which was a very positive sign. And that was the question that I had posed just on the video I had previously made, is we have zero word yet if he had actually signed his exclusive rights tender. He doesn't need to sign his exclusive rights tender because the San Francisco 49ers have signed Jauan Jennings to a 2-year deal worth up to $15.4 million, including $10.5 million guaranteed, according to Adam Schefter. Now, this is what we've kind of been waiting for, because this is why he hasn't signed his exclusive rights tender. It was about getting an actual contract extension done. And so now, while all eyes have been on Brandon Ayuk in this whole contract negotiation situation, it lands on Jauan Jennings getting a contract extension with a solid guaranteed dollar amount. Now, obviously, we have to wait and see until more details emerge about how the contract is structured. But just looking right away at the guaranteed money, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for Jauan Jennings. In all considerations of what Jauan Jennings has been able to contribute to the San Francisco 49ers as really, the fifth option in the San Francisco 49ers offense. He's been phenomenal. And to think to where he's come from being a 7th round draft pick, 217th overall out of Tennessee back in 2020, to now be under contract for at minimum 2 more years with the San Francisco 49ers. This is awesome. I'm really happy about this because, as we know, not only is Jauan Jennings a really good receiver when given the opportunity, because as we've talked about, there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. So with Jauan, he can kind of get hidden a little bit, but man, you think about that phenomenal catch over the middle that he had against the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. You think about him going insane in the Super Bowl, very well could have been the Super Bowl MVP. And to get paid like this, especially on the back of a season where he only had 29 receptions and 376 yards and 2 touchdowns, according to PFF, that's pretty freaking solid. But we know Jauan is much more than, we don't have to look at the stats to be able to determine Jauan Jennings' value. He brings a ton of value in multiple facets. Obviously, his blocking. We love Jauan Jennings as a blocker on this channel. We highlight his blocks all the time. He is constantly putting in maximum effort when it comes to making plays without the ball in his hands. So he is built for this 49ers offense and the perfect third option. That's why we call him third and Jauan, because all he's doing is he's either scoring touchdowns or converting third downs or just making big plays when given the opportunity. So I can already tell the 49er fans, and you guys let me know in the comments, I know you guys are hyped about this. I know locking him up, because it did appear that with all the contracts, coming up, we've talked about it ad nauseum, it did feel like Jauan Jennings could have been the odd man out in this situation because of, Brandon Ayuk's big-time extensions that is reportedly in the works. It's been reported that there's some space between, but we knew if and when that gets done, it's going to be a big-time payday for Ayuk. So we felt like that could potentially squeeze out guys like Jauan Jennings, but it does not. Jauan is here to stay. Third and Jauan. This is congratulations to him. This is fantastic. And again, not only have we talked about where he makes an impact on the field, I think he has such a huge impact off the field. Like I think of when Brandon Ayuk in 2022 was on the verge of getting his 1,000-yard season. I believe it happened in the final game of the year against the Cardinals. Jauan was mic'd up for that particular game, and he's the ultimate hype man. He's nothing but positivity. He's nothing but energy. And he is just ultimate hype. Like, build your guys up, and on a football field where there can be a lot of anxiety, there can be a lot of pressure. Jauan Jennings is the perfect type of guy to go to battle with because one, he's a dog and he's going to give maximum effort and he's good. And then on top of that, he has the energy to uplift and support the guys around him. I don't look at Jauan Jennings as being an ego guy, a diva. Wide receivers typically get tagged with. So in my opinion, this is a phenomenal deal to be able to give Jauan Jennings, who, in my opinion, has absolutely earned it. And again, to recap what he had signed, it's a 2-year deal worth up to $15.4 million, including $10.5 million guaranteed. The 10.5 guaranteed, that's the number that I like to look at because, I mean, that's a good amount of guarantees in a 2-year deal. So, and considering, the production on paper, that's a pretty solid value for a guy like Jauan Jennings, who we know you could probably put him on another team as like a number 2, and he would probably produce, I wouldn't be surprised, upwards of 800 yards on the season, maybe even 1,000 if he's able to get 80 plus 90 plus targets a season. Now, we understand that he probably will never get that with the San Francisco 49ers, with Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, CMC, George Kittle, all vying for targets. But we know the value that Jauan Jennings brings, and the San Francisco 49ers locked him up for 2 more years. No exclusive rights tender needing to be signed which would make him a free agent after next season. He's going to be here. So this was something that I knew was in the works based on, reports from last year and them like talking about this openly, but it really did remain like we didn't really know what was going to go down. So we got our answers. Let me know how you're feeling about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.